Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Perfect English with Mamta. On this channel, I explain prose, poetry, and grammar in the simplest way possible, helping you understand concepts clearly and write perfect answers in your exams. Let's start today's lesson and enjoy learning English like never before. Hello everyone. Today we are learning a poem, Geography Lesson. This poem is written by Brian Patten. Our teacher told us one day he would leave and sail across a warm blue sea to places he had only known from maps and all his life had longed to be. The house he lived in was narrow and grey, but in his mind's eye he could see sweet scented jasmine clinging to the walls and green leaves burning on an orange tree. The teacher always said that one day he would leave and sail across a warm blue sea. He dreamed of visiting places he had only seen on maps and had wanted to go there all his life. The teacher had big dreams of traveling to beautiful places far away, but he had never gone. His house was small, dull, and grey, but in his imagination he could see lovely jasmine flowers on the walls and bright green leaves on an orange tree. Even though his real life was boring and colorless, his mind was full of beautiful dreams and pictures of the places he wished to visit. He spoke of the lands he longed to visit, where it was never drab or cold. I couldn't understand why he never left, and shook off the school's stranglehold. Then, halfway through his final term, he took ill and never returned, and he never got to that place on the map where the green leaves of the orange trees burned. He talked about warm, colorful lands he wanted to see, places that were never cold or dull. The student could not understand why the teacher never left and escaped the strict routine of school. The teacher kept dreaming but never took action. The student wondered why he stayed stuck in the same life instead of following his dreams. Halfway through his last term, the teacher fell sick and never came back. He never reached the place he had dreamed about, where the orange trees had bright green leaves. The teacher's dream remained unfulfilled. His illness stopped him from ever traveling to the places he loved in his imagination. The maps were red drawn on the classroom wall. His name was forgotten. It faded away. But a lesson he never knew, he taught, is with me to this day. I travel to where the green leaves burn, to where the ocean's glass clear and blue, to all those places my teacher taught me to love, but which he never knew. The classroom maps were changed. The teacher's name slowly faded and was forgotten. But the lesson he unknowingly taught stayed with the student forever. People forgot the teacher, but his message, his love for the travel and dreams remained in the student's heart. The student now travels to all the beautiful places the teacher had described, where the leaves burn green and the ocean is clear and blue. He visits all the places the teacher loved but never got to see. The student fulfilled the teacher's dreams. He travels to the places the teacher only imagined, keeping his memory alive. The poem Geography Lesson by Brian Patten is about the geography teacher who always dreamt of visiting different places but could never make it. When the poet was a student, he had a teacher who used to tell the students of his dream to sail to places that he had heard only in maps. The teacher was poor and he could never sail to his dream places. He probably died unexpectedly. After the teacher's death, the poet went to visit those places that the teacher longed to visit. What was the geography teacher's dream? The geography teacher dreamed of escaping his dull, routine life and traveling to far away exotic lands. He longed to see places he had only read about, lands with sweet scented jasmine, warm blue seas, and green leaves burning on an orange tree. His dream was to experience the beauty and wonder of the world beyond the classroom. Did the teacher ever fulfill his dream? Give reasons for your answer. No, the teacher never fulfilled his dream. Despite his vivid imagination and longing, he remained confined to his ordinary life. The poem suggests that he may have been held back by fear, responsibilities, or simply the inertia of routine. Tragically, he fell ill during his last term and never returned, leaving his dream unfulfilled. What impression do you get of the teacher from the poem? The teacher seems like a kind and thoughtful person who loved to dream. He often talked about beautiful places far away, even though he had never been to them. He wanted to travel and see the world, but he never got the chance. This makes him seem a little sad, like someone who had big dreams but couldn't follow them. Even though he didn't go anywhere, he inspired his students with his words. One student remembered him and later visited the places the teacher had only imagined. So the teacher left a strong, lasting impression, not because of what he did, but because of what he dreamed and shared. How has the poet been affected by what he has learned from his teacher? The teacher taught the poet to love the places they studied during the geography lessons. The poet was deeply inspired by the teacher's dreams and imagination. Even though the teacher never traveled, his words stayed with the poet. Later, the poet visited the places the teacher had only talked about, showing that the teacher's passion helped shape his view of the world and encouraged him to explore it. Describe the poet's use of imagery in this poem. The poet uses imagery to create clear pictures of the teacher's dream and his real life. He describes bright, beautiful scenes like the warm blue sea, sweet scented jasmine, and green leaves burning on an orange tree, which help us imagine the colorful places the teacher longed to visit. These images show how lively and beautiful his dreams were. In contrast, the poet also uses dull imagery, such as the teacher's house being narrow and grey, to show how boring and restricted his real life was. The imagery makes us feel the difference between the teacher's colorful imagination and his sad reality. In the end, poet uses vivid images of travels to show that he himself visits the beautiful places his teacher only dreamed about, keeping those dreams alive. What does the poem say about the difference between imagination and reality? The poem contrasts the vibrant, imagined world of the teacher with the grey, unchanging reality of his life. While his surroundings were dull and limiting, his imagination soared across continents. This contrast highlights how dreams can be powerful and beautiful even if they are never acted upon. It also serves as a gentle warning about the sadness of not pursuing one's passions. Why do you think the maps were taken down after the teacher left? The maps being taken down symbolize the fading of the teacher's presence and the loss of his dreams. It suggests that once he was gone, his passion and vision were forgotten by others. However, the student's memory of him keeps his spirit alive, showing that true influence lives on in those we inspire. Do you think the speaker's teacher taught him a valuable lesson? Yes, I think the teacher taught the poet a valuable lesson. The geography teacher had influenced his students a lot. The teacher put the passion of traveling in his students. The teacher has unknowingly given the poet the lesson of visiting and exploring new places. The poet has got the passion of traveling to new places described by his teacher. Poetic devices, imagery. Sweet scented jasmine clambering up the walls. This line helps us picture and smell the beautiful places the teacher imagined. Alliteration, sweet scented. The poet has used repetition of sounds for rhythm and beauty. Irony. The teacher taught about distant lands but never visited them. The poet has used this as an irony in his poem. Thank you.